There's a certain weight attached to some shirts in English football, and around S6, you don't need reminding what that means. It's not just history on the walls at Hillsborough, it's something you feel in every touch, every reaction, every misplaced pass. For too long, that weight felt like a burden rather than a strength. Off-pitch instability pushed the club into survival mode, where the badge was something to defend rather than represent. But when David Storch set a clear deadline to complete the takeover, the tone shifted almost immediately. This is no longer about patching holes, it's about restoring standards. Sheffield Wednesday F.C. aren't just another championship side, they're one of the game's historic institutions, and with stability finally within reach, the conversation has moved on. It's no longer about survival, it's about leadership and direction. That shift was captured, somewhat unexpectedly, in a moment far from Sheffield. Jack Grealish, speaking with Special Olympics GB athletes after the London Marathon, smiled when Wednesday were mentioned. He joked about playing in blue and white, but then came the telling remark he referred to Barry Bannan as a legend. Not a former teammate, not just a good player, a legend. It landed because it rang true and because it reflects how he's viewed within the game. And this is where the conversation shifts from light-hearted to serious. Behind the scenes, discussions have already begun about bringing Bannan back to Hillsborough, quietly but deliberately. His situation at Millwall is being considered, along with the financial flexibility expected once the takeover is finalised. This isn't idle speculation, it's a genuine internal conversation aligned with the expected completion of the deal. The kind of move that only becomes possible once ownership is stable and direction is clear. It also reveals the thinking behind the emerging leadership strategy. On paper, re-signing a player in his mid-30s might look like sentiment. In reality, it's calculated. Bannan represents more than ability, he represents identity. During the club's most difficult period, Wednesday lost more than results. They lost control, rhythm, and authority on the pitch. That's what Bannan restores, his command of tempo, his willingness to take responsibility under pressure, and his standards in key moments all bring structure back to the team. Younger players benefit immediately from that presence, and his reputation extends beyond Hillsborough. When a player like Grealish, a Premier League title winner, casually refers to him in those terms, it reflects the respect he holds across the game. For Storch, this isn't just a football decision, it's strategic. It reassures supporters, re-establishes leadership in the dressing room, and reconnects the club with its identity in one move. That's why this moment feels significant. If the takeover is completed as planned, and that is followed by Bannan returning to Hillsborough, the new era doesn't begin with uncertainty, it begins with alignment. Supporters, players, and ownership moving in the same direction from the start. That kind of unity is rare, and it matters. The question now is whether this is the foundation the club needs, a familiar presence to stabilise things before building again, or whether modern football demands a cleaner break, built around new profiles and fresh ideas. At S6 though, the feeling is already forming. Before you build the future, you restore what defines you.